Sonic the Hedgehog, Robotnik's oil. Sonic runs through aquatic ruins as a whole bunch of worthless words fill the pages. How is he dumb enough to have no idea why oil drilling gear would be here? It's creative of the writer to have this here. After more boring words, Sonic runs around Eggman to make him dizzy from spinning him, which is a little cathartic as Eggman just groans about it. Eventually he taps his foot impatiently like in games. As for why he doesn't drag him to jail, either in this universe he isn't strong enough to, or he can't transfer his Speed Force to him to avoid ripping his arm off from it, or he keeps him around for fun. Probably the first one, because how is the writer supposed to know he was strong too? He has to threaten to spin Eggman again to make him tell him his plan. That's better, because usually Eggman's stupid enough to tell the heroes his plan unprompted. But his plan was self-explanatory, so he shouldn't have asked. It just leads to boring over-explaining of what we already assumed. Why does Sonic bother warning Eggman that the place would get ruined by pollution if he drills for oil? This is after Sonic 2. He should have instantly run away instead of warning him that he's gonna stop his plan, while acknowledging that he's someone with special powers like the dictionary says. Because he's not under the delusion that he doesn't have any powers since he's not crazy. It's got boring words for a while after this. It has Eggman go after Sonic in an Eggmobile with a hammer, which reminds me of a Sonic Advance game. Maybe this was the first time that happened. But it's not that amazingly creative. After boring words, the Eggmobile crashes into one of the columns, which means it actually used the location it was taking place in instead of just having it be there to be lazy and pander. Eggman reveals that he wasted the extra materials on making grounders that are slightly bigger than usual, but at least they're menacing looking because of that. The predictable happens with Sonic destroying his robots, which don't have animals trapped inside them like they're supposed to, so he doesn't get to save people. And Eggman has an undignified emotional reaction to it. This isn't how he was in the games at the time, and combined with him not already being in the Eggmobile for a quick getaway, it's out of character. It keeps being boring with no stakes, although it's slightly interesting to see Sonic beat robots by jumping so that they fly into each other. Sometimes with these picture books, they don't even need narration. Eventually it says Sonic rushed back to the oil machines and starts making complex adjustments to it. There's more pointless words until Eggman thinks he struck oil because of a quake, but gets sprayed with cold water instead, which is cathartic. There's a lot of pointless words, and it says Eggman tore up his map like a moron for no reason and dismantled his oil machines to of course reuse their materials, which he carries away in a net hanging from the Eggmobile. He sneezes, and eventually it's revealed that Sonic fixed the drilling machines and oil rig so they'd pump water from this place instead of oil. Because this Sonic is smarter than he looks, like an AOSDH, which is cool at least. We've seen Tails use his technology expertise a billion times, so it's a little more interesting to see this. People thank Sonic, and one of them is somehow dumb enough to wonder how Sonic always wins. And after some pointless words, the story's already over, ending with Sonic running away without the story even explaining what he planned to do after this, even though Tails is there to hang out with. I can't believe the story's over already. This story was about Sonic effortlessly beating badniks and then messing with the oil drilling machines in aquatic ruin to make them spray water at Eggman instead of oil. Most of the story was boring because most of the words in it were boring and usually didn't even need to be there since it's a picture book, so the pacing was bad. I've never seen Eggman have oil drilling machines in aquatic ruin before, so the premise was a little creative. Not enough to be impressive because anyone could imagine Eggman would do this. The story made sense. I'm pretty sure I mentioned everything I actually knew that it did. And for the most part the characterization was perfect, aside from making Eggman too pathetically emotional when his badniks get smashed, which robs him of his dignity as the main villain. Having a story all about Eggman vs. Sonic makes the story feel really Sonic-y. And the fact that a few things happen in it that never did before kept it from being stale. But because it's all about Eggman versus Sonic, it has to have Eggman look like a pathetic loser for failing over and over, in order to provide creative variety instead of just being boring by him doing one thing the whole time. Because it's just Sonic there. It should have had a bunch of other people there too, but he doesn't get to hurt anyone. He didn't even trap animals in his robots, which misrepresents him because one of the main appeals of the series is that Sonic was freeing people from his robots all the time, making Eggman a threat and Sonic a great hero. Instead, I have to assume the Badniks were all powered by batteries. I love that it felt like it took place in the world of the games. Aside from Sega of Japan forcing the book to have the scary AOSCH design for Eggman, like with the last few books. I assume that because they also forced Sonic Sunday strips in the second Sonic Yearbook to change the design to this.